Hi Virgo, welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Virgo, this is a reading for the upcoming 2 weeks, starting today on the 4th of February till the 17th of February, I think it is. And in that time, we're going to pass the full moon in Leo on the 9th. And we're also going to have Valentine's Day coming up on the 14th. And I know a lot of people are into it and some people are not. I just feel like the overall energy on that day really is heightened though. It's more towards the love energy than any other energy. And I think it is a good thing that that's happening right now. And Virgo, if you have something that you feel like you want to manifest or that you want to see come to fruition, or some wish that you've had for a while, on the 9th, that's really good to focus on, to just have it come. Usually full moon brings full clarity, full manifestation, come full circle. So use that if you want to. I'm waiting for 3 cards to pop out from this deck, or more if needed. I'm not gonna fight it anymore because I keep saying 3, and then I was gonna say if that was the same card again, I was gonna freak out, but it wasn't. There is one card that I recognize from just looking from the back, on the back, because my dog ate on it. So I do recognize it. I'm using the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck from John Holland. I really like this card deck. It's still not a tarot reading. I'm using the images just to get my guidance and intuition going, and it's more fun for you to watch some of the images than to just watch me all the time. So I've asked for the highest, best, most inspirational message that you can get at this time. And even though you hear some negativity, okay, I'm not going to fight it, I'm going to use it. If you hear some negativity in here, excuse me, then, since I don't know how they, what started, this came up first, and then we had this, which is cool because it's a 5-5. Wow. Virgo, what did I start out saying? I get so caught up in the cards. Yes, thank you. Even though I start on a negative note, I'm always here to bring positive messages. It's all about positive messages. I won't look at a card and say this means that you're in trouble because the card says so. That's not. It's just not interesting for me. Okay, so if you do know that you're in trouble, what can we do about it? So what is the message coming through here? How can we elevate you? How can we inspire you to go through it, if that's the case? So interesting. It's so interesting. This reading is so interesting. I should say that. Have that as a title. This reading is so interesting. It just is. I feel like I could use maybe a day to describe this because there's so many layers. It's so many undertones. There's a tone and there's undertones and overtones and there's so many things here. Okay, I'm just gonna jump in and see where we land. Virgo, it's beautiful. It's just beyond beautiful. We're starting with emotional loss. But it's connected to, it's like I'm doing the same reading again. You might have a pull to Leo. You might have a pull to look out to look into the Cancer reading, Cancer and Leo, maybe. Look at this, and the cards are being reversed. The images are going to be reversed because of the program on the computer. On the bottom there it says emotional loss, and then it says 5 financial and material changes. And why I want to bring them up together is because, like, hello, is because we have 2 5s, and I feel like it's almost the same. It's like the layers here with the layers here. It wants to show me something of the same. So first, I feel why I feel like it resonates with both Leo and Cancer is because it's like the before and the after. It's like we had to come from this place in order to get into this place. It's the old and the new. We're leaving this past behind, but because we went through this past, we've also asked for this new. So there's nothing that you lost that you haven't gained, if that makes sense. So it's an emotional loss, but I feel like it's a okay, so maybe for 1 or 2 people it actually is an emotional loss. Like you feel maybe you lost some person, maybe there's somebody crossing over to the other side. It could be a person, it could be an animal, it could be somebody leaving you right now. And so it could be an emotional loss, but it's all part of the life path. Of course, everybody's going to leave at some point. But for you specifically, Virgo, there's something about it being, because number 5 for me stands for life path, the path that you've chosen in this lifetime, more or less. Like maybe everybody in the world knows who Zlatan is, a Swedish soccer player. I would say his life path was to play soccer. You know, my life path, I tried to play soccer when I was younger. I was actually pretty good at it. But still, I didn't go down that route. There's something in it here that you're more intrigued. You just have certain interests. There's just more stuff that is intriguing to you than other things, you know? And so there is a certain life path. And it's included in this. To lose somebody and have them cross over to the other side, perhaps when you think they're a bit too young, or you're young enough to not just rule it out as they're old and gone, if that makes sense. I don't mean to be disrespectful of this at all. I just want to get to the yummy stuff of why this is even happening. So if you feel like somebody has passed way too young, and you're way too young to like just let it go, you just feel this like, oh man, I just can't let them go. It's because you're supposed to now have a relationship with them with where they are now. It's not just for you, thank God, that they were so old that you just, okay, they're gone. It was their time on earth and bye-bye, and there's no more connection. They're gone. No, there's a purpose here. Emotional loss for some of you other people, other Virgo groups, is that I feel like it's so good you're letting some heavy emotional stuff go. You're actually petering it out. It's like it's through the, like it's like it will come again and again and again and again, but it will get less and less and less. The thing that has maybe bogged you down, that has maybe had you been emotionally quite heavy, it will be less and less and less. And what I look at here is just pure, you're holding, like, you're coming into emotional gain because of this. It's like you learned so much. It's due to your like life path. And we're moving into this card, which is also number 5, which is also life path, which is like the layers again, with the layers. And because of this, it's like you're learning how to deal with your emotional system, emotional guidance system. Like if it's hot or if it's cold, if it feels right or if it feels off. That's like all your guidance saying, go there, don't go there. This feels good, this doesn't feel good. To like learn to listen to that emotional system. You really have learned to tap into that now. And it's like shown up in a sort of rainbow, almost rainbow fashion. And there's several messages coming out. So there's one overall message here, is that we're learning how to deal with the emotional body now. You're learning how to follow what really feels true. It's like you can't have it any other way than just complete authenticity. If there's just a whiff just a teensy bit of something that is not authentic or not in like pure real alignment with you, you won't have any of it. It's how much you just follow your guidance system right now. So here is a second message coming out. On the bottom it says financial and material changes, and I feel like that is of importance. There is a change of heart as well. There's a change of heart, and I think it is in terms of, I can let that one go now. It is in terms of romance. That took a while. It is in terms of romance, because I feel like, yeah, but it's going to be a very spiritual partnership. So it's so beautiful portrayed here. I've never looked at it this way before. It's so interesting how the guidance just keeps making me see different things, you know. So first off, we have the green, and the green for me just stands for the whole love, the complete love, the love that he has found here with a green border. We've healed it. We're not, you know, the fragmented, scattered, romantic, conditional love anymore. It's like the whole love. You feel the whole love because you're in connection with yourself, and you're in connection with, what does that mean? That you're in connection with your higher self, your inner being, your God source, okay? Because it feels like you're started off in these more like romantic partnerships that is a bit conditional, and then we move the ring into the ring finger, which is all about like marriage, engagement, commitment. It doesn't necessarily have to be marriage, but a commitment. And the commitment here is spiritual, so it can be really that you're in alignment with yourself and your higher self. And it can also be that the next relationship that you're stepping into is really, really spiritually based. It's like, just this, it's the spirit that connects to both of you. The rest is just, you probably have the same interests, you probably have the same passions and all of that, because you tend to have that when you're spiritually based. There's a strong connection here, I feel. And so it could most definitely be with another person, but I feel first and foremost, it's the whole love here that we're talking about. And you're shifting versions of yourself. It's like I came from green. I went through this thinking I know what it was all about, going through these very conditional relationships, you know, doing what I needed to do. We have the ring on the middle finger, and then I stepped into my spiritual path, and we moved the commitment to spirit, you know, and then coming back to, I almost see this is blue, but I see it almost more like green, and it's going to eventually turn into green further down. It's like you telling your truth, you being authentic to who you are. That's why I say you don't take crap from anybody. You don't take even the shift in vibration. It's like, I'd rather be alone. I'd rather do without. Like, it is pure now that counts, you know? And it's like, when you've done this spiritual connection again, now we're going to go into this whole love. So it speaks about you changing the outlook you have on relationships and what you truly want. Maybe for some of you guys that your spiritual path, since we have two number fives here, so the life path to you is really, really vivid. It's really strong within you. So for some of you Virgos, it might even mean you want to go this path alone. And some people might look at that saying, that's sad. That's really sad. But then they don't understand the connection to your higher self. That is the true marriage. With source, with your inner, with your higher self, however you want to put it. But then you need to know that financial and material changes. So you probably have gone through a tough path because you needed to grow in several areas. You needed to understand that you were never to rely on money. I should rephrase that. you were never to find happiness or joy through money. You were never to find happiness or joy through relationships even, if that makes any sense. You were to understand that without the relationships, without the money, with maybe even an ill body, with tough times, you still could find joy. And so it had nothing to do with the material stuff. And so maybe you have held that apart from you for quite some time. And I do get that one, that it is tough to manage. You know, you try to not only survive, but you try to thrive. And sometimes you're on it, and sometimes like, oh shit, like this is hard. But it's like you managed to do it, Virgo. You're there now. We're shifting in. It's like every area of your life, you're shifting it now. You're going to look to financial, because you know now that the financial gain doesn't come. Because you know now that that your joy doesn't come from financial gain. All of a sudden you can attract the money, because you know that you're not a victim of your body. You're not a victim in your body. You're actually in control over it. And once you're there, you can regain complete health, if that makes sense. You're at that stage, Virgo. This is mastery. Okay? The foundation is, and I feel like it's a relief for some. It's like, yes, I've reached this masterful life. I know everything. You know, I know everything. I'm one with all. I get it, but I need a freaking car. Like, it's like, yeah, you, it's coming, Virgo. It's coming. So you just need now to, yes, I am the freaking Messiah. I am the freaking Jesus. I can walk around, tell everybody what to do. On occasion, I could need a car to get around to tell people what to do. Okay? Yes, it's being delivered now because you've reached that place where you understand that it's not that is of importance, but it's nice to have a home that you can come home to and relax and really recharge those batteries. Because the higher the level of mastery, the more you will have around you, if that makes sense. And then we step into the number. So for some of you guys, it is a romantic partnership coming in here. But I almost can't call it a romantic partnership. I want to call it a spiritual life path partnership. Because that's what it is. It's light. It's a light card. It's the universe card. It's a black border. So light is coming in. It's like you've reached the end of the tunnel. Light is coming in. Number 19 for me stands for Prince of Heaven or Princess of Heaven. Like, that is your soul person. That is your kindred spirit coming into your world very shortly. Even within these upcoming 2 weeks, even within the full moon energy. So number 19 also adds up to number 10. So we have a completion here. There is something really coming full circle. You understanding your place here. You understanding where you're going. And I feel like you probably on your own are reaching for more light, are being able to do you say accumulate? You're able to harness. You're able to hold more energy, if that makes sense. Like, you need to reach a certain frequency. You need to reach a certain level before you can hold a certain amount of energy, if that makes sense. You can be really low in energy, literally being low in energy, and you can be really high in energy. And I'm not talking about you running around like a Duracell-kanin, as I would say in Swedish, as a frantic, being like you had 10 cups of coffee. That's not the type of energy I'm talking about. I'm just talking about you can be so grounded. You can be the master, him or herself, entering into a doorway and people will just stop because you're so powerful. It's just so much energy within you that you just, yeah, this is what I feel like you're starting to reach this point where you can hold so much energy. And then I just want to add, the more energy you can hold, and it will get so much easier for you if you then add a whole bunch of water throughout the day, because water carries energy. So that's why you feel so drained. Then when you haven't had enough water, you feel so drained, because the water, I don't know how many percentage, I shouldn't get into that because I don't know, but I know it's a freaking high percentage of the physical body that is made up by pure water. And so drink water, peeps. Do I have to say anything more about this? Just as much energy that you can hold equals as much as you can give. So I feel like you can give so much more after starting to be in this beautiful position. You're just oozing pure light. We have the number 19 there, which is also like a 1 and a 9. So 1 is new beginnings and 9 is endings. So we are ending something, realizing something, having a completion of something. And then number 9 as well for me stands for unconditional love. So that's what I talk about, that you moved away from the, sorry for sounding a bit arrogant maybe even, and a bit maybe diminishing to the normal population's relationships, but this is what I'm talking about with moving in from the red, like the romantic, the red, the pink colored roses. Is that it's not bad, it's beautiful when people connect and meet each other and get to grow, you know, but the type of love you feel when it's green, when it's whole love, it's just love, and it's unconditional, which means there's no fights in that sense. It's just, I see you and I love you, and there's no arguments, there's no putting down, there's no harshness, there's no harsh energy found in that place. And there's something with this unconditional as well, unconditional love as well in this card, because it's number 9. It's an ending of something, and it's you. I reference a lot to Messiah and Jesus throughout the readings this time. I don't know why, but again, it's quite, I mean, the vision and the visual of this card is quite like he parted the sea, you know. Is fulfillment of wishes. Whatever you want is granted. Whatever you, and it's not like it's granted. It's you who could tell yourself, I will give this to myself, because there's no separation between you and the light. You are now stepping into the light. You can hold that kind of energy. You can hold that kind of light, which means you can also attract whatever is in resonance with that, and you can also give to a much higher, like, you can give and give and give, and it's like a flash light. That's not a good analogy because the battery can run out, but it's like the sun shines, and the sun doesn't have to, in that sense, recharge. It just keeps shining. And it doesn't get tired because it keeps shining. It just shines, right? So that means that you can start to do so much good for this earth. You can just keep shining your light and you won't get exhausted. Maybe add a bit of water. It is a good thing. And there's a wish fulfillment here, guys. So there's something that you really have understood and that is yours to have. And I feel like there's so much for you to have, and you sort of almost can't help it, because that's the type of energy that you're emitting now. That's the type of energy that you're oozing. You're like a walking magnetic powerhouse that is like so charismatic that it oozes out of your pores. It's light. It's light. So whatever wish fulfillment you want to see, it's yours to have. And I think you're going to be quite surprised of how much that is going to start to come into your life that you even forgot that you wanted, because you're such a match to everything now. And maybe that's a play on words, but a match, like to lit, to put things into on fire, like it is a profound reading, and it's beautiful where you came from, what you're moving into. This is your life path to understand your emotional body and to move away from the romantic, conditional love. You see this most beautiful spiritual relationship coming together. Maybe for some of you guys, you have to leave something on the very earth plane, in a 3D dimension. You might actually have to leave a relationship that was more of the conditional, growing, had to happen type of relationship, to move into the spiritual one here. And to then come into the complete light, 19 and 9. Endings and new beginnings, fulfillment of wishes. It's just gorgeous. This is for the upcoming 2 weeks, guys. Oh, I hope it inspires you and uplifts you. It's really gorgeous. I just realized it's like I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Wheel of Fortunes. 6 Wheel of Fortunes within the next 2 weeks. Is that even possible? I should not hinder you at all. Shush me. 6 things within 2 weeks. Good on you. Please come back in a week if you want to listen to your love reading. You're heading into something really beautiful, or heading out first and then in. I don't know. Please subscribe on your way out. Please subscribe if you want to. Take care, guys. Bye.